Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the EOB podcast. Last week we just have one wide release, and that is the horror movie The Possession of Hannah Grace. Let's see how that movie did at the box office. Coming in at number 1 is Ralph Breaks the Internet, the sequel to Pixar's 2012's Wreck-It Ralph. The movie pulled in $25.8 million, a drop off of about 54% from its opening weekend for a domestic total of $119 million. Don't be fooled by the high drop-off though, the whole box office in general experienced a huge dip this past weekend. Worldwide is currently at $207 million, with $88 million of that from overseas. Box office-wise, Ralph Breaks the Internet is already ahead of the first movie in the same time frame, but let's see if it can keep up the momentum in the coming weeks. When it's all said and done, if the trend holds, the movie could potentially grow somewhere between 150 to 200 million at the domestic box office. Coming in at number 2 is Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. It is the animated version of the classic tale. Back in 2000, Universal did a live-action version with Jim Carrey as the title character. That movie did really well. It pulled in $55 million in its opening frame, and it went on to make $260 million domestic, and worldwide it pulled in $345 million. This animated version did really well. It opened to about $67.6 million in its opening frame, and for the second weekend, it pulled in $17.7 million. So the drop-off is only about 42% for a domestic total of $204 million. But the budget is only $75 million, so it's, like I say, it's doing really well for its budget. Remember, Illumination is Universal's animation arm, and they did the Despicable Me movies and the Minion spin-offs. Their movies are usually budgeted in the 75 to 80 million range, and they pulled in outsized figures at the box office. And this is no exception. Alright, let's move on to number 3, which is the Rocky spin-off Creed 2, the sequel to Creed, and the movie focused on Apollo Creed's son, played by Michael B. Jordan. The movie pulled in $16.8 million, drop off is about 53% from its opening weekend. Domestic gross right now is $81 million, and the budget is $50 million. Overseas, it pulled in $11 million for a worldwide total of $92 million. It looks like the sequel will surpass the box office take of the first movie, domestic and worldwide, so expect another sequel. Alright, let's move on to number 4, which is Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. It pulled in $11.2 million in its third weekend. The movie experienced the highest drop-off of the movies in the top 10 at 62%. Domestic gross right now is $134 million, and worldwide it is at $521 million, 386 of that from overseas. Critically and commercially, the movie is not doing as well as the first movie. Remember, Fantastic Beasts is based on just one book, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and Warner Brothers decided to make like 5 movies, or plan to make 5 movies out of this. So we don't know if this is an outlier or people's appetite for Fantastic Beasts just maybe last 1 or 2 movies. We won't know for sure until the third movie comes out. Alright, let's move on to number 5, which is Bohemian Rhapsody, the biopic about the band Queen. It pulled in $8.1 million in its 5th weekend. Drop off is about 42%. Domestic gross is $164 million, and worldwide it is at $540 million, with $375 million of that from overseas. And the budget for the movie is only $52 million, and this movie is doing extremely well. I didn't have high hopes for this movie because Queen hasn't been in the spotlight for a number of years, and I guess people might have moved on, but I was wrong about this movie, so this movie is doing huge box office. Alright, moving along to number 6 is the comedy Instant Family. It pulled in $7.2 million over the weekend. Domestic gross is about $46 million, and let's see, worldwide it's $49 million, with $3 million of that from overseas. But don't expect much from the overseas box office because comedies usually don't travel well overseas. So when it's all said and done, the movie could probably grow somewhere in the 60 to 70 million range domestically. Number 7 is the new release last weekend, which is The Possession of Hannah Grace. It opened to $6.5 million. This is a movie that I say could open to somewhere in the 10 million range. So it's kind of right there, only about 3.5 million off. Review-wise, this movie isn't good. Only 11% at Rotten Tomatoes. Is kind of like one of the worst review movies on Rotten Tomatoes. And a C- cinema score. So like people who saw it didn't really like it. Fans of horror movies who saw it didn't really like it. And I said the movie couldn't attract that much of an audience because, hey, Shay Mitchell, who was in the Pretty Liars TV series, wasn't that huge of a draw to begin with. But this movie only cost about $10 million to make. It will pass that definitely by the second weekend. And when it's all said and done, it could probably pull in somewhere in the 15 to 20 million range, if not higher in the 25 million range. All right, number 8 is Robin Hood. The movie stars Taron Egerton, the guy who starred in the Kingsman movies. He's joined by Jamie Foxx, Jamie Dornan, Eve Hewson. It's kind of like an updated take on the Robin Hood tales, right? The movie didn't open well. It opened to about 9 million. I said the movie could probably open to 15 million in 3 days, 20 million Fridays, but it fell way short of that. I thought people might be looking for an action-packed movie, but apparently not, right? It only pulled in 4.7 million in the second weekend. Drop-off is about 49%, so 21.7 million domestic, but unfortunately the budget is 100 million, so it has a lot of ways to go to make that up. Worldwide is at 48 million, with 26 million of that from overseas. So at this point, unless it gains momentum, Robin Hood is a dud. Number 9 is Widows. It pulled in 4.4 million in its third weekend, about 47% drop off from the previous weekend. Domestic gross is about 33 million so far, and worldwide is at 53 million, with 20 million of that from overseas. The movie is notable because it's directed by Steve McQueen, the guy who did 12 Years a Slave. It stars Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, Elizabeth Debicki, Colin Farrell, and others. Robert Duvall's in here, Liam Neeson as well, so it's pretty much like a female heist movie. Okay, rounding out the top 10 is Green Book. The movie pulled in 3.9 million in its third weekend. Domestic gross right now is 14 million. Viggo Mortensen stars as a bouncer who has to chaperone Mahershala Ali's character through the Deep South on his tour. It's an award play, of course, right? It's one of these movies that you'll hear about a lot during the award season. Alright, so that's it for the top 10. Unfortunately, there won't be any wide releases this weekend, so we can all chill out and do our holiday shopping. That's it for this podcast. Tune in next week. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.